Hello, and welcome to Guide to the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
I'm William.
And we're hosting a special spooky event tonight and doing a commentary track for Scream, which is one of our favorite movies.
That's right. We teased it on the show, and we're making it a reality tonight.
Yeah.
Now, Kristen, I want to say a couple of quick things before we actually put the movie on.
Okay, great.
First of all, this is both an audio and video show, just like Guide to the Unknown usually is. So you can watch us on YouTube. You can actually, I'll randomly put the movie on the screen a couple of times so you can see where we're at. Might help you with syncing it.
Yeah.
We'll tell you when we're about to hit play for the audio listeners.
Yep.
But Kristen, as we're recording this, it is December 18th, 2017.
Yeah.
I did a little research about Scream.
Okay. Is there this day in Scream history?
The red carpet premiere of Scream
Really?
was December 18th, 1996.
That's awesome.
The worldwide, or, the wide release of Scream was December 20th, 2 days later. I'm going to release this 2 days later. Why not? 21 years to the day.
That's amazing. Well, we're certainly spiritually rolling out the red carpet for Scream.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, so for those of you who may not be aware of Guide to the Unknown, it is a podcast Kristen and I do together. It releases every Friday. We sit down, we talk about urban legends,
mysteries, monsters, basically anything that's spooky or scary or creepy.
Yeah, so for example, our most recent episode as of this recording is about gnomes and gremlins.
Yes.
So if that's your kind of thing, make sure that you subscribe to Talk Bomb here on YouTube. Look up Guide to the Unknown in any podcast app. We should be there. And you can find everything at talkbomb.com.
That's right.
All right. So without any further ado, let's do it. Let's get Scream going.
Okay.
Let's do this commentary track. And for you watching, I'm going to put the movie on the screen for a few seconds so you can sync with us. For the people who are listening, there are a couple of different versions of Scream. The one that we're about to watch is whichever version is rentable, purchasable through YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the theatrical, not the director's cut. And I'm going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. There we go. So the Dimension logo is happening right now. You won't be able to hear the movie because we can't pirate this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, if only. If only we could just steal this movie and share it with you all.
I feel like it should be freely given, like things that are good for humanity. You just want to spread them around.
Yeah, you're right. This should be distributed to every household.
Yeah. Should be part of the National Registry.
Yeah. Kristen, do you remember the first time you saw Scream?
No, I don't actually.
You would have been 13.
It came out when I was 13. I didn't see it in theaters.
I guess we didn't see it in theaters.
No, I didn't. I remember I had tons of friends who were seeing it in theaters and everything. We may have been moving, or I think we were just about to move when it came out. Like, I remember friends of mine going to see it like multiple times, the way that people went to see Titanic like multiple times.
Yeah.
And I didn't go for some reason.
Huh.
Yeah.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get on a mic.
Sorry. Hello. I'm going to tell a quick story about the first time I saw Scream 3.
My wife, Allie. Surprisingly.
Hi. I'm Will's wife, Allie. And I was like 11, and I was going to a friend's like 11th birthday party, and we sat in the front row. Her mom had to lie to get us into the theater because it was like a bunch of 11-year-olds and we weren't supposed to be there. So she told them we were going to see some G-rated movie, bought a bunch of tickets, and then just took us to the other theater because she just didn't care. Put us in the front row. We went to Olive Garden beforehand. I got to my friend's house, like went to the bathroom, and like, major problems. And I got really sick from Olive Garden, and my friends thought that I was really scared from seeing Scream.
Can we clarify you threw up?
I threw up a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All you said were major problems.
They also thought I had my period. Those were the two theories, were that I had my period and that I was scared of Scream.
So but it wasn't. It was only Olive Garden.
It was Olive Garden.
Okay. All right. So Scream 3 is not hurting people.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's really funny. Her look here is iconic.
This became like you're like halfway joking, right?
No, I'm fully telling the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
Because this became like one of the like icons of horror.
Yeah.
Her holding that phone. Mm-hmm. It's
Who
weird.
do you think you're talking to? Of course I mean that.
Well, because people throw out like Joanne the Scammer.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
yeah.
thought you were just being like, this is iconic.
No, I mean, I guess in that way too, but
It's weird that this is. Have you ever seen When a Stranger Calls with Carol Kane?
no.
This is just that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they just did that for the opening like 15 minutes of this movie.
Actually,
and it changed everything.
Yeah, I know, it like already
Even
happened.
though that movie came out like in the 70s or whatever.
I'm about to say, I think I have seen. Is it Stranger Calls when the stranger's calling from inside the house?
Yes.
Then yes, I have. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, I want to point out for people
Yeah.
that are listening or watching us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, I would think obviously. But like I'm sure that I might say things in this that are about Scream 2, all
Oh,
the right?
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
just be on your toes. We might spoil this thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What's that in the back? Porridge? Oh, puffins.
Yeah. This wow. Yeah, it's Puffin's cereal. Well done.
Thank you.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Scream
With
in general,
Puffins?
with Puffins. And once I knew who the killers were,
Yeah.
and I knew that there were two of them, I used to try to figure out in the movie who's responsible for killing what person.
Right. Yeah, totally.
And in this scene, I always read theories online that it was Stu. Because Billy then has his alibi later. He's going to go see his girlfriend, Sydney, the main character.
Right, right.
But then I listened to the podcast, Now Playing Podcast, and they're about to do the whole thing here where it's like, I want to play a game. He asks her questions about scary movies.
Yeah.
And the final question is, which door am I at? And on Now Playing, Stuart, one of the hosts, said, we know she can't win this.
Yeah.
There are two entrances to her house. There are two killers.
Right.
One's at the front door, one's at the back door. No matter which one she picks,
okay.
there's a killer for it. So in a weird way,
Yeah.
that question is kind of foreshadowing
Yeah.
of the fact that there are two of them.
Yeah. Oh,
I never thought of that until I
interesting.
heard him say that.
Well, we don't know that that's true, though.
No, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a fact, but it's one of
But
those things
it's
that's
a
like
really-
it's so perfect.
Yeah.
He says there are two entrances to your house.
Totally.
Which door am I at?
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
I remember that you had a joke at least once when we watched the movie. It just stuck in my head. When Ghostface just goes, "I'm getting scared. I'm shaking in my boots."
Yeah.
You went, "So he wears boots." And it's the kind of stupid, like, little kid joke
So dumb.
that it's like so not funny, which makes it even funnier. Completely stuck in my head
That's
for
awesome.
decades.
Skeet is it Ulrich or Ulrich? I guess
You
I
mean
just don't
Billy
know.
Ray Trout?
Yes.
His
yes,
real name.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did a Hot Topic Instagram takeover today, and I watched it.
What does that mean? Is that like when
Because-
like Beavis and Butthead would take over MTV for 24 hours or whatever? You remember that?
Actually, yes, it is like that. It is. Like you take
That
that's like
still works?
that's like very much a thing. You like take over somebody's Insta story specifically.
Oh, wow.
So I mean,
what was that like?
Well, it's not like bad boy stuff where they're like, "Hey, yeah, so
Well, I
I got
started-
hold of Hot Topic stuff."
I starred in 6 seasons of Jericho. That was
No,
fun.
because of Riverdale.
Oh, right, yeah.
And people love Riverdale, and Hot Topic has a bunch of Riverdale merch, apparently. He was incredibly sweet and charming. He seems like the nicest guy
Really?
ever. Oh my God, you don't know about this? Skeet Ulrich's Instagram is like a minor thing because he comments on other people's posts all the time in the cutest ways, and he comments on his daughter's posts and stuff, and people kind of like got hip to it and noticed it.
Oh.
He just says really nice things on people's Instagram pictures. He seems like the nicest guy.
That's
it's
nice.
It's very cute.
In this, he plays such a convincing maniac.
He seems like a sweetie and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. It's funny how cute he is. He'll be like, "Sweetie, you look great here. You're the apple of my eye." Like to his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's really cute. So
sorry.
he was like cute and dorky on the Hot Topic thing.
Oh.
It was very sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, he's hot.
Still, you think so?
Oh, more so than ever.
He
without
was
a doubt.
partly hired for this because of his resemblance to Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think he's way hotter than Johnny Depp.
Well, yeah, Johnny Depp
Yeah,
now is
I
just
was about to say, obviously. But like,
a pile of
back
dusty
then, do
hats
I
and
think
scarves.
that? Back then, did I think? I guess not. I guess not then.
We talked about this part on Guide to the Unknown.
That's
we were
right.
talking about Mrs. Voorhees.
Yep.
It's funny. So, all right, I'm gonna get. This is for us to get dorky, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Totally.
So this movie became frequently mocked for the phone calls and being like, "I want to play a game."
Yeah.
What's your favorite scary movie? That became like the line from the movie.
Right. I don't think that's really mocking.
No, it's not mocking, but it became
Yeah.
it became
like-
so big. It was the thing everyone knew.
Yes.
That barely ever happens in these movies.
Yeah.
It's this and Scream 4, I think, where they ask horror trivia and nothing else.
Right.
It doesn't happen in 2 or 3, really, I don't think.
Well, there's.
In 2,
are there,
they ask it sarcastically, actually, yeah.
are there phone calls in 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I guess it's just
mean,
so
the-
iconic. The
Yeah, but I guess
thing.
in particular being like, at the end of this, even, Billy and Stu go like, it's all a game.
Yeah.
We ask you a question, you die. It's
Yeah,
like,
but
well,
that
that's
doesn't
not,
really.
that's
You're right.
not-
It doesn't work that way.
No, they just kind of taunt you and stalk you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird.
That is weird.
Oh, also, she just got asked the question, who's the killer in Halloween? And she goes, Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Scream won the MTV Movie Awards Movie of the Year, the best movie.
Yes.
At the 1997 Movie Awards.
Yeah.
The host was Mike Myers.
Yep.
And he did a parody of this movie where he calls her, playing the footage from this movie, and he goes,
It's
who's your
so
favorite
funny.
cast member of SNL? She goes, Michael Myers. And that was like the big joke.
And he's like, yes, it's mine too. Oh, because
Yeah.
he doesn't realize the camera is on him.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, and also, part of the reason why I mentioned Beavis and Butthead before is that this movie opened against Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
what the
came
hell?
in second.
I think I saw Beavis and Butthead Do America in theaters.
I kind of think I did too.
What were their priorities?
I don't know. We didn't know. The
Yeah,
world
we
hadn't
didn't
changed
know.
yet.
We didn't know.
Well, at this
My
point,
friends apparently knew.
at this point, I didn't want to like repeat a bunch of things that other podcasts and stuff have said about Scream, but maybe there are people that don't know. and
Whatever,
it's
just
worth,
say stuff. Yeah.
So horror as a genre had really just sort of crapped the bed. Halloween, 1 year before this, 1995, had Halloween 6 starring Paul Rudd before he was anybody.
Yeah.
He's like listed in the cast of the movie as like Paul Stephen Rudd.
Yeah. Oh,
'Cause no
wow.
one knew who he was.
Yeah.
And it was miserable. It was
Yeah.
absolutely horrible. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, maybe turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 years prior was Wes Craven trying to do this like postmodern thing
Oh,
using
I'm aware
Freddy
of that.
Krueger.
Yeah.
And that was terrible. Horror was just in bad shape. And
Yeah.
then this came out and it was scary and intense and funny.
Yeah.
And then there was like a sudden boom of horror as being profitable and sought after.
Yeah.
So you and I probably saw Beavis and Butthead Do America because we did not know
Maybe.
that the world was on the verge of global change.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
And I don't remember watching, well, that's not true. I was going to say, I don't remember watching horror movies really before this. I guess, I don't know if you call them horror movies. We definitely watched like old monster movies and a lot of mysteries and things like that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't really watch horror movies before this. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I definitely watched horror when I was really young.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that because like I didn't
Well,
watch.
I mean horror movies. Like I always watch The Twilight Zone. And I watch a ton of unsolved mysteries
yeah.
and things like that. But I don't know if I had seen. I bet I had. If I'd seen like Halloween and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm not sure.
This I love. I think
I
this
know.
is like brilliant. It's
Totally.
really sad and weird.
Yeah.
But also the
That she
fact that
sees
she
who it is, and she's
pulls
already
the mask off and the camera pans away.
Yep. And she's already so out of it, she like barely reacts.
Yeah. And she recognizes whoever that was.
Yeah, totally.
If it was Billy or Stu, whatever, she knows them. That was a
Right.
friend of hers.
Right.
And for us, it underlines that this is going to be a whodunit. We're not allowed to see whoever's face that is.
Yeah.
Because for the rest of the movie, they're going to make us guess who was the killer. And I think that that's one of the... Like, I'm a horror fan, so I love Scream because it's obsessed with horror, because I think it's really effective in its, tension. But I also love it because it's a whodunit. And they constantly will drop hints. They give characters motivation that could lead you to make any case.
Yeah.
You could convince yourself that Dewey is the killer
Yeah.
if you sat down and tried to put together You know, all the times that he's missing.
Right.
And Ghostface shows up. I love that.
Yeah, me too. I remember this was like the grossest and scariest when I was younger.
Yeah.
When they zoom in on her hanging in the tree.
It is. It's. You know what? It's kind of pitiful.
It's
kind
disturbing.
Of. It's disturbing. It's a little pathetic.
Yeah.
Because it's almost in a weird
I remember
way.
that being like disgusting. Like I didn't want to look at that, and that's like nothing.
Yeah, I get it compared to other things.
Yeah.
But it's weird too that this movie is all about like gutting people and hanging them from trees.
Yeah.
And none of the rest are.
Yeah.
You know, like they're.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Nobody's face looks like a cherry pie in this one.
Kristen saw. Yeah. Actually, you and I in particular, we like tortured each other through these movies as they came out. Kristen told me who the killer was in Scream. Maybe just
I
this
don't
one.
remember the order of what we did. I know we spoiled them for each other, though.
Yeah, we until Scream 4, whoever saw one of the movies first would immediately spoil it for the other, which is such an annoying.
I know.
What an annoying thing to do.
I know.
To just be like, Billy and Stu are the killer.
I know.
Oh, and Kristen
Did
told
whoever
me.
did it first do it on purpose? I kind of think no.
I don't know, but then it became like a game of like, just messing with each other.
I think the first time it happened, because we didn't really do stuff like that. I think the first time it happened, one of us did it by accident, and then I think the next movie that we spoiled it for, the person did it on purpose as revenge.
That makes sense. At least
I think so.
Yeah. I know that in Scream 2, you told me that Randy dies, and I asked you how. And you said he dies in a car and he looks like a cherry pie after. And so I assumed it was like a big car accident and I don't know, he got mushed up. And that's like not at all.
Just blood on his face and kind of a crisscrossy pattern that I think reminded me of the crisscrossed crust.
Crisscross crust.
And intermittent red of a cherry pie.
Yeah.
That's greasy dreamboat.
There's so much grease on his head.
I know.
That hair is firm.
I would disagree. It's not firm. It's
you don't think so? It looks crispy.
Waxing.
I remember I used to like spray my hair. And I hated it. It would like.
It does look kind of.
It felt like brittle.
Yeah.
Brickle brackle. What's brickle brackle?
I don't know.
What is that?
Maybe it's candy.
Peanut brittle.
Peanut brittle. I can't tell if it looks crispy or if it just looks like waxy.
Yeah. There's a thing going on.
This is crazy, honestly. They talk about this in this movie.
Why?
It's a little nuts. I don't know, because it's a teen movie, and they're being so like rather than just like showing it or whatever, being so overt and talking about and negotiating like second base and boob touching. It's like kind of wild. I don't know if they would do that.
I mean, it's R-rated.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it's not for kids.
Yeah, that's true. But they're still supposed to be kids, kind of, so it's like a little weird.
I don't know, but I guess that's also that line. We just watched someone get stabbed in the chest in slow motion, you know, and hung from a tree with her intestines hanging out. And you're like, it's so crazy that they talk about making out and agree with each other where they're comfortable and where the line is.
But I just feel like you wouldn't see talk about. I'm not saying I think it's bad, obviously. I don't think that you would see talk about that in a movie today because it'd be too like, whoa. But they would show it. They show crazy shit. On Riverdale, they have like steamy sex scenes. It's crazy to me.
Really?
I'm becoming an old woman. But even then.
Well, suddenly teenagers look young.
Yeah.
Suddenly they look like little kids.
Yeah.
These people still don't to me.
No, I think that they look like they're in their mid-20s.
They always looked to me, because when I saw this, I must have been 10, 11, something. I probably saw it on home video.
Yeah.
I probably saw it on a VHS.
Yeah, probably.
And to me, they were like almost adults.
Yeah.
In the 90s, this is like Gen X, right? Mm-hmm. I always wanted to be this.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be this age in the 90s and be able to basically be like, yeah, my parents are away. Come over, we'll watch Snick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I always wanted to be older in the 90s than I was.
Yeah. I think all kids are like that.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Every time that she does that, when she like opens her shirt to show her boobs to him, I always think of Scary Movie when she like lifts her shirt and it's a flabby old man's chest.
Oh, I don't remember.
And her boyfriend like falls off the roof or something stupid.
Even that, I feel like it just brings like a level of realism and humanity to a sex scene that I feel like they wouldn't have in movies today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or in shows or whatever that'd be about teens. Like they're all about just like showing close-ups of like pecs and butts and stuff.
Sure.
But like I feel like they wouldn't talk about it because that makes it too real. You can kind of like pretend that it's not real people when you're just like watching them hump.
Yeah, I think you're right. Aside from using the word hump. One of the things that I feel like this movie also gets a bad rap for is I think the story is really sort of natural and human.
Yeah, totally.
And that as much as the characters speak in that 90s Kevin Williamson lofty, 15 syllable words way, I feel like they have like really human motivations. They're afraid of what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're terrified of it. They're in pain about it. Sydney is a really interesting character to track across all 4 movies.
Yeah. They do it better than most other movies, but still, I think that they do react to murders in a more lax way than would happen normally. Like, it's, somewhat casual, her telling her that her insides are on the outside, and she's like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Right, yeah.
But still, in a lot of other movies, horror movies and teen horror movies and stuff, it's not as...
I guess.
realistic as that.
Some of this was wasn't this kind of supposed to underline how teens were getting increasingly jaded? They're about to go to a big party at the end of the movie, and it's because they can take advantage of the fact that there's a curfew, and they're making the most of it. They're having fun during it.
And then when they hear that the principal is like, what is he? He's like hanging from the football goalpost, and they all go to like check it out.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's insane.
They're like, let's go.
I know. That is like bonkers.
Yeah.
A weird thing about this scene that I found out like much later
is that this is actually the Fonz.
Yeah, look at him. He looks great.
Yeah.
So he touches her chin there. And the cop kind of gives him a look like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's written to be a very uncomfortably hands-on principal. That he puts his hand on her shoulder, touches her face.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really picked up on that. What a strange thing. In Scream 4, in the background of a shot at this high school, there was a bust of that principal, that Henry Winkler principal.
Oh, I don't remember.
But it seems they made a bust of Henry Winkler circa 2013 or whatever.
Oh, really?
He's got like a waddle, and it's supposed to be made out of copper, but it's a little too orange, so it looks like a bust of cheddar cheese.
That's really funny.
It's disgusting.
That's amazing.
When I was a kid, so Stu goes, you take a knife, slim from groin to sternum, and Billy goes, it's called tact, you fudge rag. I thought, isn't there like a tackle box or something for fishing? Right?
Yeah.
You have a tackle box?
Yeah,
I didn't know what the word tact meant. I thought that he was like, the method you're talking about is called tact.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
You idiot.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that he was like being like, shut up, you're like scaring everybody.
Right.
Thought he was like, you're using the wrong terminology, you moron.
Yeah. Ooh.
This kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. When you watch it knowing what's up.
It is incredible.
So
like
it's
every
pretty clear
look.
to me that Billy dealt the final blows.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I think he's like nobody said you did.
Oh, interesting.
And like maybe he looks like annoyed or like weird about it a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah.
It is crazy that one of the things that this movie does.
His tongue's too long.
He's got his face is
roll it up and put it back in.
Out of control. Yeah. I love him though.
Oh, I do too.
Billy is made to look so villainous in this throughout that it almost causes you to go like, well, they're pointing such a giant red arrow at him and saying that Billy's the killer. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be someone else.
Right.
And the fact that it ends up being him is such a weird double blind.
Yeah. Which I love.
Oh man. I just love it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is. An all-star backpacker. Really taking in how humongous this house is.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Man, what does her dad do?
They're doing all right.
Yeah.
I always liked it. Looked like you could climb on her roof real easy.
Like, look at that view. She's like a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's a mansion.
Yeah.
Is that a second house right next to it? That's like their guest house?
Yeah, I guess so. Some sort of like little gazebo outside.
Good Lord.
I don't know. They don't spend much time here, really.
No. Yeah.
What?
Allie said it's probably expensive to rent.
Probably. And then this is supposed to show you, look, there's nothing in the closet. Mm-hmm. Later tonight, there will be. How's it kind of empty, no? A little sparse?
It's okay. I think it's just clean.
Oh. So
Lots
I
of
did.
ducks.
What?
Lots of ducks. There's a duck decor thing going on.
They collect ducks.
Yeah.
This guy always, he goes like, a baffling lack of clues. It's real reporter voice.
Yes, work.
I did some research about, like, they say that this movie was inspired by a real life serial killer,
Oh, who?
the Gainesville Ripper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was this guy. He killed a bunch of college kids. Real horrible. Like, think Ted Bundy
Yeah.
when he attacked that sorority, and he was like unchained.
Yeah.
Like that. And killed 3 people in Louisiana. And he was just he was terrifying. He's like a nightmare man. He
Yeah.
was like in his 30s, whatever.
Yeah.
And they caught him, and that inspired this story about young teens.
How'd that? Why? How? I'm not seeing where you draw the line.
I think it was just the media attention, but it's funny because
yeah.
I read it expecting to see like, oh, what was it that's such like a parallel? Like,
you're
what
like-
did Kevin Williamson do?
You're like, huh? So nothing.
Pretty much, it was just like a bunch of murders, and that's horrible. But it's not like there was
Yeah.
anything screamy about it.
Right. After I noticed those ducks on the table, I was looking and thinking how funny it'd be if we noticed there are ducks all over the place. Like the wallpaper was tiny mallards, and like the lace curtains were actually duck patterned. But I think those ducks were it.
Hidden duckies.
Yeah. Oh, I hate taking a nap where you fall asleep when it's light and you wake up when it's dark. That's horrible.
I know. It feels like you like lost a day.
Yeah. One time when I was a kid, I took a nap, and when I woke up, I thought it was the next morning, and I came downstairs and started eating cereal, and Mom was like, "What you doing?"
That's awesome.
Can you?
I don't know.
Did you ever check that?
I never went down to the local Hollywood video.
Yeah.
Rent risky business or whatever she
All the
just
right
said.
moves.
All the right moves.
I bet it's not true.
I always thought this voice sounded like Billy.
I don't know.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
Can you
it kinda
imagine
does.
Skeet Ulrich just talking like that?
Yeah. Uh huh.
It's weird that they had to hire a different guy to do that voice. So that's Roger Jackson, is his name, and he's done a bunch of interviews. He probably doesn't do it anymore, but
Yeah.
he used to do a bunch of interviews for Scream where he would have them turn the lights off. So you would just see his like silhouette. And he'd be like, well, not being able to know who you're speaking to, it just drives the mind mad.
Oh my God.
You're like, can you just talk about what it was like when you did the movie and not pretend
Trying
that
to
like
make it-
because you played a scary killer, like you understand the depth of madness that
Trying to,
lurks in the
like,
human soul?
Insert yourself into it more than you actually are.
Yeah.
Did you end up watching Jim and Andy yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's like the guy who played his dad in the movie, trying to go method with him. That was so rough.
That was insane. That was out of control.
I was like, "Oh, sir, no, this isn't for you.
Just call it quits,
You don't
buddy."
need to do this." Oh,
Where am I is a way scarier question than what's your favorite scary movie?
of course it is.
You know?
Oh my God.
Because it's awesome that, like, you know, when a stranger calls is very scary to be like, he's in the house.
Yeah.
But if you're talking to him on the phone, then at the time he was like, you know, holding a corded phone attached to a wall. He was
Right.
in a room that you're not in right now.
Right.
Cell phones.
Yeah, it could be anywhere. It could be right behind you.
Your other line is coming up.
What?
Do you remember the other joke he used to make right here?
I'm not sure. It's ringing a bell, that I had one, but I don't remember what it was.
Sydney's on the porch, and the killer's being like, "Where am I?" She's looking around. She's like, "Well, I don't see you here anywhere." She's about to get real cocky, and Kristen had a joke that she would go to. How many times do you think you've seen this movie?
Oh my God, I don't even know. That's hard to estimate.
Easy double digits. Easy.
No, completely. I'm trying to decide which double digits. I don't know.
Like 30?
Maybe.
Yeah. All right, so you can see it dawning on her. She's like, "This is silly."
Yeah.
Starts picking her nose.
Having a little fun.
Kristen's joke here, because he doesn't answer, was to go, "Well, that's pretty gross." Something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, kind of. You cretin.
I know. Such like
So weird.
it is. It's such a hard
Like
line to be like, "Do you want to die? Your mother didn't." Like
Right.
that's such a. This is a very lame way to put it, but like that's such a hurtful, venomous thing
It
to say to
is.
somebody, and then to respond to that by being like, "Fudge you cretin."
Cretin.
Cretin.
Like when you're in your most emotional, where you've just lost control, you use the word cretin.
Yeah.
Like, what a dork.
Starting to lose control. You guys are really cheesing me off. Something that the sequels don't really do is that Ghostface here, when he's running around, he's grunting. He's being like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
ugh."
He is grunting a lot. It's a good knife swippy sound. Yes.
I used to use the computer to call phones all the time.
Really?
Once I realized that you could do that,
Yeah.
I would just call like downstairs. Just be like, "Hey, Dad."
Okay, so that couldn't have been him before, right? So that was Stu?
I don't think so. That's
It's
so
too-
fast.
it's too fast, yeah.
So fast.
Yeah.
And then people always make fun of this moment. Drops the phone.
What is that in Scary Movie? What drops? Isn't there something funny?
I think he drops like a knife, the mask,
Oh, yeah.
some gloves. Like I think he drops everything. But she looks at him because he dropped this cell phone. She was just called, obviously, from a cell phone.
Yeah.
I've heard people make fun of this where they're like, "Oh my God, like this movie's so 90s, LOL." It's so funny that, the thing that points him out to be the killer is that he drops a cell phone. It's like a big
Right.
90s. It's like, well, but yeah,
That works.
like of course.
Yeah.
That's her boyfriend. Based on that, she doesn't think he has a cell phone.
Yeah.
For him to have a cell phone and she's obviously just being attacked by somebody who has one, like
Yeah, I don't think that's weird.
excellent, assumption to jump to.
Yes.
Do you think of this movie as being like deliciously 90s?
No, I mean, I guess it is.
Because I get that vibe from people, and I think it's just
that's
good.
definitely not what's. Yeah, it's not my forethought about it, but
Yeah.
I guess it is. I don't know. It's not. It's very 90s, but it's not like the epitome of 90s to me.
Yeah.
Like Clarissa Explains It All is.
Yes.
Stuff like that. This is just like it happened in the 90s, so some things are gonna be like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think of it as a 90s movie first.
Agreed.
Just totally sweet movie. Get him, Rose McGowan.
Is this one of the first times we're seeing Dewey?
It was the first time, I think.
Is that the first time we see
I
Dewey
think
in the
so,
movie?
which is really sweet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He has like a big entrance.
God, I love him.
I do too.
I love that character.
Yeah. And this one.
Yeah.
I remember people thought that was so funny.
Yeah, I know. My name isn't Jesus. They're like total badasses in this movie.
Yeah. I don't know, home.
Wherever she wants. The thing isn't where she's going.
Not here.
Oh, I missed it? Like that.
Why do you ask where she's going?
Hey, where's she going? Gail, I need to report on where you think she's going, Gail.
Where's she going?
This is messed up.
What?
They're trying to contact her dad, and they can't find him.
Yeah. Ay.
Well, you got voiced him here.
Seriously. Really, when you start crapping yourself, things are not good.
No. He just take some candy from his desk.
Did he?
I thought so. Look, he picked up a Hershey Kiss.
It's really funny. Oh my god.
Shooting
Intense.
devil eyes at her.
God.
This is...
Look at this guy. Is this his dad?
Yeah, this is his dad. I always thought he looked like one of the Bremen Town musicians.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, of course I do.
I thought I've said that to you before and you didn't know.
Of course. No.
Oh, look at him. If I remember, I'll try to put a picture of one of the Bremen Town musicians on the screen. Otherwise, you guys just have to figure out what that means.
Holy crap, Will.
Yeah. Billy's dad. His only other credit from the Bremen Town musicians. I didn't kill anybody. There's a real thing going on with all the kids' faces in this movie. They all have an upper lip that like sticks off their face a little bit.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can see it right now.
Look at her. They all do.
Well, there's a thing, like, have you ever heard of, I can't remember what it's called, there's a name for it, but there's like a golden ratio of attractiveness where like your eyes are a certain number of degrees away from your nose, like all this stuff. And I know that like a prominent upper lip is traditionally, I guess they did like, polls over time or something of like, they figured out who the hottest people were and then what they had in common.
Huh.
And having a full upper lip that protrudes past your lower lip is one of those things. I remember that specifically because I thought it was weird. Yeah.
It is weird.
Mm-hmm. So maybe they picked like the most attractive young actors and they all happen to have that lip.
Yeah, maybe.
Rose McGowan's working a little bit more of a lower lip. Okay. So we're diverting from the path, even though she's beautiful.
So this aspect of it, that costume in the movie world is called Father Death, which is supposed to be a red herring pointing you at Sydney's father.
Oh.
Yeah. And
that seems tough.
David Arquette, Dewey, has that line about they sell this costume at every five and dime in the state.
Yeah.
When they got the script, Dimension bought the script from Kevin Williamson. There was like a massive bidding war. But he only ever described the killer as being a masked killer.
Okay.
So they had to then figure out, how is it that nobody can tell who this is?
Yeah.
They don't even know the gender of the person. They can't tell anything. So we got to cover this person in head to toe, whatever they are.
Yeah.
They were scouting locations and somebody found the Scream mask, the ghost face mask, made by a company called Fun World. As they were trying to get the rights from it for Fun World, Dimension started making copyright-free versions of the mask, and you can find them online. Some of them are terrible. They have like weird hair sticking out of the nose and ears. They're just awful.
Weird.
They actually use a copyright-free version of the mask in 2 scenes of this movie. Because they didn't get the rights to use the real mask yet. But eventually, they obviously got the rights, and they used the real one in the rest of the movie, the rest of the franchise, except for the TV series. But it's a real Halloween mask. And I always loved that the killer in the movie is wearing something that, like, even if this movie had not been made, you could go buy that costume. Because it already existed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's something about it that's so realistically low tech. That it's just, we went to Party City and just bought a Halloween costume that hides us so we can kill people.
Yeah. I love this. It's like one of those lines my friends and I would say.
Yeah, so natural.
Yeah. Well, we love. I mean, we actually did. We thought.
Oh, okay.
I thought
you were like, this sounds like something my friends and I would say to each other.
No, it'd be like, "Bam, bitch went down. Bam, Sid, super bitch. You are so cool."
It's funny to be like, Gail Weathers is a bitch. She went down, but you're a super bitch, and that's good.
Wait, no. Sid, super bitch. Gail's the super bitch.
What?
Yeah.
I thought she was like turning around and being like, "You're a super bitch." You're like hardcore.
No, bam, Sid, super bitch. The super bitch went down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I've misunderstood that line for the last 21 years.
You know, I'm so glad that we cleared this up.
Yeah, this was important.
Yeah, we're doing important work. Oh no. Wait, who's that old man on their wall? Or on Tatum's wall or whatever.
It was her grandfather?
No.
Could it have been like David Cassidy or something?
It was a pan-up of a guy. He did not look good.
It wasn't smoking?
No, he wasn't smoking. He looked like he was like
one of the Dukes of Hazzard.
Like 39.
Leading men used to be like 50 years old.
It's there was a thread today on a Facebook group that I follow that was like, what heartthrobs of like the past do you look at now and you're like, ew, they're fugly.
Fugly.
I'm saying that. I don't think it said fugly. But it was talking about how like Bing Crosby was like such a heartthrob. He's like this little man with like huge ears. He's like really not hot.
That's awesome.
It was like a thread of all stuff like that. And then it devolved into a thread of like hot guys from back then. And they were talking about Gene Kelly. And there's a Tumblr called Gene Kelly's Ass. It's just all pictures of Gene Kelly's butt. It's so good.
Weird.
His butt is really prominently featured in a lot of like dances and movies and stuff that he does. It's very funny.
He's got to show his ass to sell the movies.
He has a great tush.
Liev Schreiber.
Yep.
For 5 seconds as Cotton Weary.
I know.
Amazing.
I know.
Becomes one of the best parts of
totally.
Scream 2.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like a Star Wars level of continuity.
Yeah.
To be like, we're gonna plant this here. We'll expand on it later.
Yeah.
When Kevin
I
Williamson
wasn't too busy.
Kevin Williamson originally wrote like an 18-page Scream
That's your Scream treatment. Yeah.
Treatment for Scream.
Yeah.
And then ended up writing the full movie over the course of 3 days.
Oh my God! Wow.
And he wrote a 5-page treatment for Scream 2 and a 5-page treatment for Scream 3 to try to sell them all as one.
Yeah.
He thought that it would entice buyers more if it felt more like a franchise.
Yeah.
So it is possible, I guess, that he was like, no, Cotton Weary factors in to Scream 2.
That could totally be
big, so we got to get a good actor for that role.
Yeah.
Even though he's only here for 30 seconds.
Totally. What's that lady's name? Who that just was?
Linda Blair.
Yeah.
Playing a reporter.
Yep. She is Regan from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Reagan?
Yeah, Reagan.
What's wrong with me and names tonight?
Reagan.
Yikes.
It's weird that Gail's just sitting around this high school.
She's wanting to interview people. It's not that weird.
This is such a cool story that here's this reporter who wrote a sensationalized book about Sydney's mother's death.
Frosty lipstick. All right, go ahead.
I just think it's, she's got no sense of shame about it at all. She's like, somebody was going to tell the story, so why not me? It makes perfect sense, but it's also just like, she's just a hawk.
Yeah, totally.
See, there's not an ounce of comedy, playfulness at all here. It's just intense.
Yeah. I don't know if Sydney knows that.
Wait, what?
The way she's saying is like Sydney has this information already, and she's like, huh.
I think Sydney has doubts because the killer just said, your mother didn't.
Oh, that's a good point.
Right?
Yes, you're right. You're right.
This is one of those things that I think was like a pretty early fascination of mine with the idea that like we've got to piece together what happened that night. It's in dispute.
Yeah.
What happened the night Sydney's mother was killed. Someone was framed, possibly. Who's the real killer?
Yeah.
And they might still be out there.
Yeah.
Funny that Matthew Lillard looks in this mirror and I guess decides that, like, yeah, it's good.
I'm looking right. Ugh, what's wrong with kids?
I know.
Why is Stu laughing? It's not a very good friend.
Because he's the killer, man, and he's everything I'm doing is paying off.
Yeah, but he's, outwardly not supposed to be acting like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, having my friends cracking up, I'd kick my friend in the butt.
Oh, I never noticed this for a long time either.
What?
So he goes, you think it's still me? She says no. Watch this.
Okay.
All right. Couldn't have been me. I was in jail. And he puts his hand out.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Because he's fingerprinted.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just thought it was like gesture. I didn't realize it was like
being weird.
I didn't realize it was like a small detail, attention to detail kind of thing.
Is this the time?
Yeah, but he's trying to torture her, right?
Yeah. But again, like, not knowing that and thinking that he's just like a normal boyfriend, like, what's wrong with you? Don't talk about this right now. I got attacked last night.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. He's like, you think that I would murder you?
I guess.
Like, something is clearly wrong here if you think that I could have been the person who tried to attack you last night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But still, she was just attacked. Like, let her go. Although she is at school, she's kind of carrying on.
Yeah.
Yes. That's such a good line.
I do love his reaction. He was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. That's a lot.
What? Why are you talking like that?
Yikes.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's a real intense principle.
Listen to those knife
I
sounds.
know, it's really chinking.
Foley artist really trying to make a name for himself.
Well, it's working. We're talking about it, aren't we? Jesus. God.
Okay.
Can we go?
Can we go home?
Yeah, rewatching this and like really watching as we're doing commentary and talking about it, that principal's really got some stuff going on under the surface.
He needs some therapy, I think.
That flush sounds like diarrhea.
All right.
It did. That sounded like farts, not a flush.
This actress is amazing.
Oh, totally.
If I know my Scream lore correctly, I think this is Skeet Ulrich's girlfriend.
It is. I love that. There's no way Billy has a bubble butt PS. He's so reedy.
I just think it's funny to use bubble butt as an insult. She's got her own bubble butt boyfriend.
Totally.
Not that he has a bubble butt, just to be like, he's a bubble butt. Just diminish him.
It totally isn't a funny insult, but like, you couldn't use that for a skinny person. He's not a bubble butt.
Yeah. This actress is out of control.
I know. So good.
I guess she's saying
wait,
it the
wait,
way
wait.
it's written, right?
Oh, we missed it. The girl who called Billy a bubble butt is like, you are terrible.
Yeah. I get, is it her fault that she has to read this dialogue? How are you supposed to read that and be like,
I think
homicide is a much healthier therapeutic expression?
No, it's perfect. She was perfect.
It's just so much.
That's exactly what I want. It's fine.
Dial it up.
Yeah.
Take 32. I want even more. It's been a lot so far. I still want more.
I'm exhausted.
So there's a lot of debate whether or not this attack is a real.
Right.
Is it Billy and Stu? Is it Ghostface for real, or is it another copycat? We just saw a kid running down the halls dressed like Ghostface. Those kids just got expelled for doing the same.
Right.
What do you think?
I mean, isn't it that it is real? Like, isn't
debatable.
I feel like I could be wrong. I feel
There's
like it's
not a clear-cut answer.
Okay, I kind of thought that there was, but I don't like that it's real. So that's what my impression was, that it was real, but that I think it's stupid.
If it's
you?
real, I guess it's just to make her feel like she's not safe anywhere.
Right.
Because she's at school right now walking around alone. They don't want that. They don't
Right.
want her feeling like, well, I was attacked last night, but I'm okay now.
Yeah.
They want her to be out of control wherever she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I never thought of it that way. That's a compelling reason for this to be real.
I just think it's too risky is why I think it's stupid.
I agree. And he pops out, no knife.
Yeah.
No knife in his hands.
Right.
He just growls.
Yeah.
Now, if she were smart, she would just go like,
Yeah, why don't you tell that
the
lady?
next person to walk out of that room
Right.
tried to attack me. I love it. You can't do this in any other horror movie to just be like, this is the mask the killer wore, and now anyone could just go get that mask.
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
Does this make you feel sad now that they're no longer together? And it was so... Good catch.
Thank you.
And it was so sort of like romanticized that they met each other and fell in love on this set?
Yeah, a little bit.
Bums you out?
Yeah, a little bit. Come on, crying.
I wish on Scream 4 they had made the characters split up or killed one of them. If they ever, and they never will, but if they ever make Scream 5,
Yeah.
it's going to be such a bummer for them to have to address this storyline that they were ever together. Because now they're split up in real life.
Well, why would... What do you mean? Like, what... They can still play at it, you know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't have to...
I guess, but so much of this story for me is like... this particular plot line, I mean, the two of them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really sweet that they met here and fell in love in real life. And that they're... by the time Scream 3 happens, the characters are engaged. They
Yeah.
really got married.
Yeah.
And then in Scream 4, there was a time where it's like... They're kind of having marital troubles in Scream 4. They're disagreeing about stuff. They spend a lot of the movie away from each other.
Yeah.
And then in the end of the movie, they get back together, but in real life, they split up.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the real life... There's a lot of like fourth wall breaking in Scream. And I think some of it's inadvertent with
Yeah.
these characters. It's a shame that in real life, their story is not the same as it is in the movies.
Yeah. 25.
He's 25 in real life there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's younger than Billy Ray Trout and Jamie
Yeah.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop calling him. It's starting to feel mean calling him Billy Ray Trout. I just think it's a funny name.
It is a funny name.
And then to be
What are
like,
you
I'll
gonna
pick
do?
a better one, Skeet.
I know.
So right now he's concocting a way to murder them.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, all right, so I'll have a party at my house.
You will die. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Pathos could have its perks. Also, he's not buff.
No, he's not.
He says, I'm so buff, I got you covered. The knot in that tree looks like a toilet seat.
Yeah, it does. Hey. Oh my god.
In the script, that's described as doing air guitar.
Yeah.
Is that what you got out of it?
Yeah. Pretty
Really?
much. Yeah.
I thought it was like a fist pump kind of thing.
I guess. I don't know. Somewhere in between.
I think the fake mask is used there.
Gave himself a little fright.
Is it in his contract that he has to check his hair in every movie, or is that just people being like, well, if you cast Henry Winkler, you have to have him check his hair? You're not going to waste that casting opportunity, right?
Yeah, it's true. Wow, what a hard Easter egg to catch.
Pretty clever reference
Yeah.
right there. Putting who's that guy?
Subtle.
Damn it.
What do you mean? Who's that guy?
There's who's the other guy from that? All right, I have a really roundabout question for you.
Okay.
Chevy Chase is in a music video with
Paul Simon.
Paul Simon was
Yeah.
partnered with.
Garfunkel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put Art Garfunkel in a Freddy Krueger costume. That's a cool scene.
God.
Actually, Wes Craven,
Right.
not Art Garfunkel.
Looks like Actually, kind of looks like David Crosby.
Yeah, that's who I was originally trying to think
Okay,
of. David
yeah.
Crosby, yes.
Yeah.
Himbry.
Heaney. It's a weird last name.
Look at this dramatic.
I know.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Lashley.
Really enjoying the performance of it.
Yeah.
And also him too. Winkler. Look at him go. My God.
Look at his face.
He's going for broke.
So that murder only exists in this script because Bob Weinstein realized that there were 30 pages of the movie where nothing bloody happens.
Oh.
So
okay.
he told Kevin Williamson, you have to put in a murder.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, we'll kill Principal Himry. And that then gave him an excuse later on to have the kids leave the party.
Oh, that worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out great.
Did we already miss the line where she says it sounds like the plot of some Wes Carpenter flick?
I think it's coming up. It's a good story.
You can only hear that Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to start believing it. Remember when you heard it the magic number of times that suddenly you believe he really did put a gerbil in his
Yeah.
ass in real life?
You were finally like, all right, I get it.
That is such a funny thing to have stuck.
Because it's so weird. I think that's why.
And especially before like the real internet.
By the way, I think she might have just said it.
But for that to
Alright.
spread like wildfire and for Richard Gere to have to be like, it's not true.
I did not stick a gerbil in my ass.
This is a bug nuts thing to put in the movie.
Totally.
To have Ghostface creeping around in the woods in daylight watching them.
Yeah, yeah.
There are some who think
He really takes some risks at the school and then in daylight there.
there are some who think that is Scott Foley from Scream 3.
Oh, yeah. You either
Sydney's-
told me or I read that or something.
Sydney's half brother.
Nah.
Because Billy and Stu's right here.
Right.
So that wasn't him.
Yeah, but Billy's going to pop up.
Yeah. I've always wanted to watch The Howling to see if E.T.'s mom really is in it. No, Billy's right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was chatting up some honeys?
Yeah, that was definitely Scott Foley.
No, it wasn't. It was just an error in this movie. There's no way.
I don't even know if it's an error. We don't know that these scenes don't take place 1 second apart necessarily.
Yeah.
So you don't like the idea that Scott Foley's character exists here somewhere?
He exists and he like had the same idea as these guys or decided to copy their idea or something like that. No,
Yeah.
I don't. Do you?
In Scream 3, when he says, like, I told them what to do, it's not like he said,
Oh, that's
get
right.
this
I
mask and
forgot.
put it on. I think he just convinced them to murder
Right.
Sydney's
Wait,
mom.
I forget. What's he says that he was the mastermind behind Stu and Billy?
Yeah, he said he
stupid.
stalked their mom,
Okay.
found out that she was sleeping with Billy's dad, showed Billy, he wasn't happy about it, and
Yeah.
basically just worked him up until he was willing to kill.
No, because they give away everything at the end here when they're about to kill Sydney, and like that would come out. There's no reason that they
Yeah.
would be hiding that information. It
I
doesn't
agree.
work.
Also, I like Billy and Stu.
I do
like
too. Mm-hmm.
them as like devious, monstrous, sadistic killers. I like the idea that they, like is in quotes,
Yeah, I know.
that they came up with this all themselves.
Yeah, completely. I reject that. So good.
Everybody's a suspect, and two random store workers look at each other like, could have been either one of us even then.
Is it me?
This moment's awesome.
Yeah. Boy.
God, I almost don't know how you watch this and don't know it's them.
I know.
Look at Stu.
Yeah, he's looking at Billy real intensely.
And then this is completely mirrored at the end of the movie with Sydney.
Yeah. There's a weirdness to their relationship. Like a not just platonicness.
Sure,
it's very intense.
that's a big theory of it.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Yeah, totally.
I wonder if
They're way too it's way too intense.
yeah, they're on their own
also,
little planet. They're on their own little like power trip.
Yeah, completely. And they're each the only one who knows what's going on with each other. I mean, like, they're the only two people in on it. I don't know.
They kill their girlfriends.
Yeah.
I'm kind of down with that.
Yeah.
I love this idea. Curfew.
I know, I do too. It's very quaint.
It is. I always thought it was interesting to the idea that the whole town has to shut down. You have to go home.
Yeah.
The streets are empty.
Yeah, for sure.
There's another level of brilliance to this movie. So many movies after this went out of their way to be like, oh, we're going into the woods and our cell phones won't work. That's why the cops don't come.
Yeah.
This movie, they do call the police. It just takes the police a long time to get there.
Right.
The killer says they'll never make it in time. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Man, that's true here. If there was a killer trying to get us, it would take the police like 5 minutes to get here. That's pretty fast, but maybe not fast enough.
I don't know. They came pretty damn fast at least one of the times that I called them.
One of the times.
I remember I went to go brush my teeth and they were there before I was done brushing my teeth.
All right, fair point.
Yeah. Make sure you use something bad. I'm trying to feel. Sounds like paper.
Ooh. Bummer. Huh. That's a weird moment, too. The killer's in that convenience store. I don't like his little face.
I was about to say his little mouth.
Yeah, he's like smirking. His little mouth.
Yeah, right?
Guess what's tomorrow?
Dad would not like that mouth.
No, yeah. Our dad had a thing about people with weird mouths.
Yeah.
Didn't care for them.
No. He didn't like Bill Murray because of it.
So this is supposed to be... I've listened to the commentary track and stuff. This is supposed to be that David Arquette licks his ice cream every time the chief smokes his cigarette.
Oh.
Which is weird.
It's funny.
Also, if you listen closely, there's a plop sound about to come up. Oh, that's a red herring that he has the boots of the killer.
What? That's
yeah.
a very slight red herring.
Everyone wears those boots.
They're just like nondescript black boots.
Listen close. Did you hear that?
Yes.
He tosses his little ice cream on the ground because the chief threw his cigarette on the ground.
It's more of a smack.
Little smack, yeah. I wish they had
really
shown
funny.
him stomp out his ice cream cone with his boots.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Rude.
Yeah, quite rude. I remember that as being a little fruit pie wrapper.
Really?
Funny how our memory sometimes tricks us.
Yes.
That's like a funny joke for
Yeah, an older brother.
their cop friend. Don't have too much fun or I'll bust you.
Yeah.
And they just ignore him and leave.
Okay, Dewey. There are a lot of like diagonal shots. In the
I know.
movie. Yeah.
It's weird. They would have held the party until they got there? You're tardy to the party,
They're
so
not
we
here
started
yet.
without you. Don't start the party yet.
Yeah.
No one have fun.
This guy's a real doofus.
Yeah. I feel like even that, though, like that's his one little moment to seem weird and creepy.
Yeah. They might invite me in.
I always wanted to go to a party. Whoa. They play such scary music when she picks up that little camera. Boom.
And she gives a real sinister look.
Yeah. She's totally tricking this guy.
That guy's ridiculous.
Yeah.
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 God.
They're such cool guys.
Yeah.
Good joke, Tate.
Right.
He's trying so hard to be an adult.
Yeah.
You know? He thinks he looks like he's way older than he does.
Or thinks that they would be scared of him.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
I tricked you. I'm not really taking
Yeah, I'm
your
not like
beer.
that.
That kid wasn't threatened in any way, shape, or
No,
form.
not at all.
It's weird that the footage that she secretly shoots here never comes back.
Yeah, it is actually.
You know?
Yeah, it seems like that could be useful later. You know, there was a meeting to make sure her nipples were hard or something.
Oh, absolutely.
So
well, it's a
gross.
Weinstein movie.
Yeah, I know.
And she's now one of the biggest proponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This I never really understood. It's almost like ghostly, the fact that the door just closes on its own.
Yeah.
And then the killer appears inside this room. So,
Yeah, that's weird. I would never be by myself anywhere under any circumstance with this stuff going on.
no, yeah, that's probably one of the least believable aspects of the movie, that anybody is like, yeah, I'll just
Ever.
go to the garage.
Yeah.
I'm sure the killer won't view this as a smorgasbord.
Right, exactly.
Oh, this is one of the moments that like is one of the least plausible, least buyable.
Yeah,
That robe is so shimmery.
I know. Well, it's like that cheap nylon-y stuff.
Yeah.
What does he want?
He wants my food.
Oh.
This is one of the things that like I don't really buy.
Yeah.
Like there are a bunch of people in this movie that know horror movies and can talk about the tropes of them and the cliches. She's not really one of them to me. That should be like, what is this? I spit on your garage. She's calling back to like a 70s horror
She said
movie.
I spit on your garage?
Yeah, which is a play off
Really?
of I'll Spit on Your Grave, which is
Yeah.
sort of a revenge, almost exploitation horror
Yeah.
movie. I don't feel like her character is also horror obsessed.
No, there's just no indication of that.
Yeah. But like Scream as a universe is everybody knows horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this, which may just be, I don't know. I feel nothing towards this. because I've seen it so many times, but I freely acknowledge that it's stupid too.
Oh, yeah.
Tatum getting hung in the doggy door.
Yeah.
Or the like cat flap.
It's weirdly silly.
It is.
In this movie, because there's nothing
Looney
else that's
Tunes.
like really like this in the movie.
And then her head just mushes in.
Yeah.
Now Playing also pointed out that this is they strung Drew Barrymore from a tree. They hung the principal from a goalpost. He just hung her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It's a really the party is ending. Like what? I don't know. Like when you're all like drinking and hanging out like that, it's where the people are going home to me.
Yeah, it's funny that there's any sort of ending where they're like, that was a fun party.
That's what I mean. Like,
thank you for having us.
right.
The way that Billy just popped in the door by being like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's getting reckless because he's like so into it right now. He just killed Tatum.
Yeah.
Nut tap.
Nut tap. I forgot about that.
How do you feel about Jamie Kennedy in this movie?
I mean, I don't know. Here nor there, kind of.
Really?
I guess I like him more than I like him now.
I hate him in this movie.
Yeah.
And I love him in Scream 2.
Yeah. He's like, whatever.
And he's the same guy.
He's playing like he's like stock nerd guy, kind of.
He's so much in this. He does like a Jerry Lewis impression, and
Oh God, he's a lot.
he still does. He's still a lot in Scream 2, but there's
Yeah.
something about him that's a little more relatable in that movie. I
Yeah.
think here he's just like, I feel like he's kind of a jerk that he's like secretly trying to get Sid somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. It's shady.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is it shady? Does he do anything that beyond just say like, "Oh, there goes my chance" or whatever?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess he doesn't really do anything. He just comes across as a little creepy.
Yeah. I had thought about and told Ryan that I was going to record a video of myself on each birthday in case I die that year, so you can watch it like Randy and Scream. But I decided I don't really want to call that in.
No, that's kind of awesome. If like we found a tape and then it was you going, "Told you I'd make a movie someday, huh?" What the hell is this? If I didn't survive
I know,
these
but
events,
I don't really want to put out that if I die in the next year. I don't think I want that. I want that mojo out in the world.
Yeah, all right.
I was planning on it until my birthday, and then I was like, I don't want to say this.
There's something I think you guys should see.
I was going to make it funny and stuff, but I was still like, I don't know if I want to put out the energy of me being like, in case I die in the next 365 days.
It's also like none of us are going to find it funny. Like if you act funny on the tape, you'd be like, well, I'm gone, but you guys can carry on.
Well, that's part of the thing. I was
and
like,
then
what?
we're all like, she is gone. Like, this
It
is
started to not be
horrible.
fun because I was like thinking about, I was like, all right, what am I going to say? And I was like, what tone do I strike in this?
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot.
Quite a lot. There are certain things that will happen in the event of my demise.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Certain things will automatically happen.
What the fuck does that mean?
Kristen, language.
Well, what do you mean?
It's nothing insane.
But what do you have set up that's going to happen?
Google offers a service that if you don't log into your account for 6 months, they'll send an email to a designated person. You say who it is with like the credentials to log into that account.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
But you can write a private message to be delivered to that person.
Did you do that?
I did that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Boy, getting hot and heavy.
Yeah, it's a little steamy. Maybe everybody should
Yeah.
close their eyes for a while.
Boy,
Yeah, it's a
that
little
line really makes me cringe.
kind of thuds.
Talks about yeah.
It is. It's funny.
It's funny to think of him pausing because he's just like, ooh.
Yamana hamana what?
No, or of him being like, oof. Feels a little forced, Sid.
It's funny to be like, I wish my life was a Meg Ryan movie.
Or a good porno.
What's a good Meg Ryan movie, Chris?
All of them?
Name one.
You've Got Mail.
What's the one?
While you were no, that's
What's the
Sandra
Amy
Bullock.
Schumer? Snatched? Is
Yeah.
that her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
That's a good Meg Ryan movie.
Snatched is a good Meg Ryan movie? What are you
isn't
talking about?
Isn't she Amy Schumer's mom in that movie?
No, that's Goldie Hawn.
No.
Okay, that makes more sense now. I don't know, Sleepless in Seattle. Meg Ryan was in a lot of rom-coms. Harry Met Sally. It's funny that Jamie Kennedy is resting his hand on the, he's not doing it right now, but he grabbed the knee of his friend next to him, like when scary stuff happened. It's
You're
funny.
going to love this one, Mick.
Yeah.
Do you know that Randy was almost played by Breckin Meyer?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. He's in his glory right now. Everybody's paying attention to him.
Oh, yeah. And then this became hugely
totally.
iconic.
But we're teenagers. We love sex.
We have it all the time.
Yeah. I've done it before. Like,
It's almost weird that I'm not having it right now, Jamie. There was a kid at college orientation. We played Never Have I Ever.
Oh,
sitting
yeah,
around, and somebody was being a bit cheeky.
Sure.
And went, all right, never have I ever had a threesome. And the guy that was supposed to be my roommate for initiation night started going
Yeah.
like, oh, I have, oh yeah, I have. And I was like, oh my God,
no, you haven't.
you haven't at all. You haven't had a twosome. This drove me nuts.
What? Oh my God.
When he first does the line, he's like, you don't know the rules? And then when they play the tape here, he goes, you don't know the rules.
Yeah.
They use like an
I hate it
alternate
when that
take.
happens and
Really
stuff, yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah.
She's watching an alternate reality on that monitor.
You could go into a whole theory there, probably.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
If she only didn't leave this van, she'd be watching a reality where nothing goes wrong.
Right. Yeah, this is the moment where everything changed.
Yeah. Does he ever get to finish those Cheetos?
I hope so. I love Cheetos.
They're really good.
Yeah.
I still have like 90 bags in the pantry.
Fresh ones?
Probably.
Ooh, that sounds good. Too crunchy on Mike.
Oh, yeah. Not on Mike,
No,
Kristen. Not on Mike.
Not on Mike. Yes, there's a killer on the loose.
Yeah, it's
I am
funny that
scared.
he plays that trying to be sort of like silly, playful,
Yeah.
flirty, but it's like, no, there's a killer around, and that's actually, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know.
That's not funny.
Yeah.
This is another humongous house. Woodsboro is a very affluent community.
Yeah, it is. Well, another part of why I loved these movies, I think, you and I grew up in the middle of nowhere. We grew up in the woods.
Yeah.
And there was something that felt really familiar about these movies, that they're on all this, like, even when we moved to Missouri when we were teenagers, tons of farmland.
Yeah.
There were nights that, like, I ran home and would have to run through
Yeah.
like pastures.
Oh, totally.
It felt like Scream.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
What a weird thing to high five your friends.
I know.
Ugh.
It's very strange. Also, the way this whole sex scene is played is really weird. Like, not really now. It was more before when we were talking about where we grew up. But, like, there's this scary music going on while they're making out and everything. It's really, like, weird.
Well, because it's not being portrayed as a good thing.
Well, I know, but it's weird that you don't know that he's a bad guy yet or anything. And it's taking on this, like, weird, sinister, like, unsavory tone.
Well, I think that's because Jamie Kennedy just said, if you have sex, you die.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah, you're right.
studying this movie, if we're following these rules, she is being marked for death right now.
Yes, that's
But
true.
we know it on the other level, which is she's sleeping with the serial killer, with more specifically like her tormentor.
Yeah.
And he is sleeping with her to torture her.
Yeah.
Later on, which is very warped.
Yes. But also, she looks like not super into it at that part. I feel like it looks really creepy.
I agree.
She looks like uncomfortable.
Well, I think that is also intentional. I think it's because she feels
totally.
like she has to do this. She's not doing it really because she's doing it because she wants to.
Yeah.
But she's not doing it because she
just straight up wants to. She's doing it because she wants to keep her boyfriend, and she feels like she has to.
And I think prove something to herself. Mm-hmm. You know, she's not this. A lot of this movie, you know, her mom was murdered, and they view it as, you know, like she was sleeping around, and she was like, you know, quote unquote, like a loose woman.
Yeah.
What a horrible thing that is. And so as a result, Sydney goes completely the other way. So this is well, I
don't know. I don't really read it that way.
Yeah, the entire conflict with her and Billy on the surface is that they don't have like a physical enough relationship.
Yeah.
I think that she is like, you could read this as her rejecting sex because her mother was demonized for it.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of a, you know, an emotionally heavy moment for her, that she's sort of embracing something that she's so afraid of, and that she views as like an immoral thing to do in a weird way.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it that way. I thought it was just kind of like she just didn't really want to do it yet.
I mean, I think that's that too.
Yeah.
Take your headband off.
Is this in the way?
And I'm under Dewey. I'm on duty.
You were faster than me. I was trying to think of something like that. Oh boy. You just kissed one time after knowing each other for like 2 days, Dewey. Take it down a notch.
Yeah. Is that what you've been looking for?
All my life. Yikes.
Oh. That's even weird that they like stashed Sydney's dad's car a little bit down the road, but not really that hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just gotta give him a hairbrush real quick.
That's Stu's mom's hairbrush or something.
Yeah, right.
This is not her house.
No, it's really weird. That took a sec.
See, I like that she's intelligent and that she's trying. She's even still like, I don't believe that right now she's like, he is the killer in her head, but there's a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
And she realizes that, she thinks about it, she explores it. She's so much more intelligent than just some throwaway, you know, cliche horror heroine.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for sure, by the time that like Scream 4 rolls around, she's almost like the Terminator.
Oh, totally. Yeah, she's like chasing after the killer and stuff.
I love it. I love
it's completely sweet.
Her like trajectory.
Yeah.
I wish I could watch this for the first time again.
Yeah.
I have no idea if Billy's, you know, quote unquote death is realistic.
Squeaky.
Something that I would have believed.
Yeah, I know.
You know? This house is so crazy.
I know. Now that I think about it, I'm noticing it. It's probably so that they could do weird stuff like this.
Yeah. Have her run around the house and it just comes back the other way because there are like multiple staircases.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
See that little baby in that basket?
I don't know. What's wrong with this
What
attic?
is with this attic?
Yeah,
There's
it's
like a doll hanging from the ceiling.
So Stu, maybe this is...
Yeah.
He's got like a Hawaiian shirt in there too.
Yeah.
So Stu like hangs dolls from the ceiling by their neck and stuff. Is that what we saw?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if by the neck.
That's kind of interesting too.
Yeah. If this is like a weird, creepy killer's lair.
Yeah. Running through Stu's subconscious up
Yeah. Yeah, that's Stu's brain. It's the attic of the house.
there. Yeah. He doesn't stab her though. He doesn't want her to get hurt, which is weird.
Yeah. Come on up.
Weird looking body.
Yeah, it looks really fake.
Yeah. It always seemed weird to me that David Arquette doesn't get a moment to be like, they killed my sister?
Does he even find out? Like, do we see him find out in this movie?
No.
Yeah.
There's one mention, I think, I want to say it's like Scream 3. Someone says something kind of callously to Dewey.
Yeah.
About, yeah.
Yeah, it rings
it
a
is.
bell.
It's
Yeah.
David Putty
Yeah, I
from
was about to say.
Seinfeld goes like, just checking to make sure there's not a killer here waiting to off you like they did your little sister.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be a really meta moment where he's telling Jamie Lee Curtis to turn around.
Right.
The killer's sneaking up behind him. His name in real life is Jamie Kennedy. Jamie should turn around. I never liked that.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yes, it's a lot.
But it feels like it's the kind of thing that like people aren't really supposed to. Somebody on like IMDb is supposed to pick up on it and put it in the
Yeah.
trivia section like it's really intentional.
Yeah.
I feel like the filmmakers maybe were like, oh, that's kind of amusing. But it's
Yeah,
not like
I'm
it was
sure.
written to be like that, right?
Uh-oh. I like that zoom in. It's fun.
There are multiple brilliant mechanisms in the movie. The fact that the serial killer is calling you from a cell phone, he could be anywhere, he's watching you right now.
Yeah.
You can describe what you're doing from outside your house. The fact that they've got this camera inside the party, but it's on a 30-second delay.
Oh, totally.
So when you see the killer leaving the house, guess what? It's already too late.
Yeah.
He's probably standing right behind you.
Yeah.
The fact that the entire time you're trying to figure out who's the killer, and there are two of them. There are like several like genius level things for a horror movie
Yeah.
in here. You know what's weird? The only person who has a cell phone in this movie is the killer.
Hey, you're right.
That kind of strange.
Yeah. Yeah, why doesn't anybody else have one?
No one else.
It's weird. Not even cops. Unless they have their radio.
Yeah. So I always felt like this movie almost feels like a weird 90s remake of Halloween to some extent. Small town being terrorized like in the fall. Whatever. But I love that they find an excuse to use the Halloween score.
Yeah.
You know, they just had a
Yeah.
Halloween sting as he peeks into the closet.
Yeah. Totally.
It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Get a grip.
Quite an echo.
This juice.
Hawaiian punch? Who go with his Cheetos and baked Tostitos?
He didn't finish his Cheetos. There was some in his blood.
Oh. Damn.
Good last
Well,
meal.
he had moved on to Tostitos.
She has a cell phone. She has
okay.
a giant, like 80s looking
Maybe
cell
it's a
phone.
car phone. Ooh. Ah. Do you know how things work?
I know. This is a weird moment where it's obviously
It's cool, though.
blood on the windshield.
Yeah.
All smearing it. She puts a windshield wiper on, and that's when it's scary.
Yeah.
That always freaked me out.
It is freaky. Was his nose scooched up like if you were to tape your nose to your forehead or whatever?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
His eyes being open
Yeah.
and looking at her through the windshield. No way.
Yeah.
No, thank you. This is just like everything has gone
Pandemonium.
haywire, like all out of control.
Yeah. Glad she's okay.
I think she was originally scripted to die there. And it was supposed to be the van like flips over, but the stunt didn't work correctly.
Yeah. Oh, really? It only changed because the stunt didn't work correctly?
I don't know if they changed the story because of that, but it for sure was supposed to flip.
Oh, wow.
I think she was originally written to die, and I think they changed that pretty early.
Oh, this makes me sad.
There's something about the way that he's taken out that's so simple and
Yeah.
again, like the word is pathetic. That it's like
Because he's so sweet. He's like, Sydney?
yeah, he's kind of like worried about her.
Yeah.
In a weird way, right there. But like one stab in the back, and he's that cop.
Yeah.
Is just out.
Severed nerve. Oh, the worst.
I love.
Look at this guy having a little fun.
I love that. I love this. There's like
so
a
scary.
whoosh sound effect when he just ducks.
Yeah.
He moves faster.
How does he do that?
Than the wind. What do you mean?
How do you pop up the locks?
Where they're not like those
Oh, he was
little,
just
like,
using his
car
key.
unlock things? Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I just realized ever since I was a kid, I thought he went under the car and did something that made the locks
really?
pop up. Yeah, I never really thought about it. That was like what I assumed. And
Like
I just,
messed with the underside of the car somehow?
yes.
That would be a big design flaw.
I know.
I like that they're not trying to kill her.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't. He could have stabbed her.
Oh, totally.
Oh, this part's awesome.
Oh, man.
I think Stu did it, he
Yeah.
says. Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
And those are her friends that they were sitting around the fountain together.
I know.
And now she's like, well, probably one of you is good.
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to damn you. I'm going to lock you both out.
Yeah.
And for Randy in that moment, he's like put it together. He knows that Stu's the killer.
Yeah.
And he's like,
no. Yeah.
And for him too, it's like Stu right now is pretending to also be innocent. He's probably like, this is like so weird.
Yeah.
Like I hate that line.
What did he say?
I'm like a stuck pig, but I'm all right.
Oh, my God.
Billy really hamming it up.
Yeah.
And now you're supposed to be like, oh, he was the good guy all along.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so good. He's going mad.
Weird arm.
Yeah. Why is he wearing like...
Oh.
No. Why is he wearing like fancy red suede shoes?
He's like Dorothy. He just wants to go home.
Well, guess what? Billy wants to send him there.
Does corn syrup taste good? Just like
I don't know.
out of the jar? Out of the
don't know.
jam jar?
I'm not sure.
Ah, I love this.
Sydney.
So annoying.
Oh my God.
That's so annoying. Stu like flourishes
I never noticed that.
and hands Billy the knife like a little dork.
Oh my God.
It's so irritating.
They're mega dorks right now.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Billy doesn't pull off the same playful thing that Stu does. He's like, boom, you die. But it doesn't sound right.
Well, I always, they're like two different sides of the spectrum in a way. When Kevin Williamson wrote this, he couldn't decide if he wanted the killer to have like a really important motive that's specific to Sydney, or if he thought it was scarier that the killer had no motive. Like the Gainesville Ripper, it's not like he was friends with all those sorority girls.
Yeah.
They were living their lives, and one night a madman appeared.
Yeah.
So he eventually decided both. So Stu has no motive.
Yeah.
And Billy really does.
Yeah.
And so one of them is just like over the top, playful, having a great time. And the other one is like, I don't ever see Billy as playful.
Yeah.
I see him as like upsettingly full of rage and barely holding himself together.
Yeah.
Even that moment, like that plays like Stu doesn't know.
Yeah.
And for Sydney, it's confirmation of what she was afraid of, that her mother was sleeping with other people.
Yeah.
You know? It feels like there was a big world before this movie starts. That, you know, like whatever they did, whatever plotting that Billy and Stu did a year ago.
Yeah. And
the way that Gale Weathers and Sydney, you know, reacted to it and spoke to each other and were at the trial, like that's I would love to somehow see that story. There's something really crazy and intricate that happened before all this, and we're only ever given bits and pieces of what it must have been like.
Totally. They cloned his cellular.
That's such a funny thing to throw into me. Like, your daddy's the chief suspect. We cloned his cellular. Don't ask how.
Don't worry about it.
I wouldn't know how to clone a cellular. How do you do that? We'll just have to clone his cellular.
Somebody cloned our grandpa's cellular once.
Did they?
Yeah. They were underneath a bridge that grandpa drove over, and they did some sort of magic that got them his car phone number.
What are you talking about? Really?
Yeah.
All right. They cloned our grandpa's cellular.
It was his car phone.
That's awesome.
Specifically.
Car phone.
I know. So weird that car phones were a thing where the phones were only in cars and now you're not allowed to, you know what I mean? It's like a crime.
Yeah. Like we were all fine with the idea of being like, car phone. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And now,
No.
How are they going to explain to the cops that he's covered in corn syrup?
Good question. Just a spill at the party? We're all passing around corn syrup, and then that becomes a rumor about how teens get high on corn syrup.
Yeah. You want to go shucking? If you hear your teen talking about shucking, they may be doing corn syrup.
Yeah. Shucking.
So this moment, them stabbing each other to make it seem like they were also attacked by Ghostface for when the cops inevitably show up.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that in the director's cut is a little bit longer. The director's cut is almost identical to the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
The MPAA, they had to submit this movie like 9 or 10 times. It kept getting rejected. They wanted to give it an NC-17 for gore and intensity.
Wow.
Literally the fact
Intensity.
the fact that it's so intense was going to get them like, you know, like an NC-17 would have meant like doom for the movie.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the MPAA eventually said no gore, no blood can be in motion.
What?
So there were moments where you would see Billy start to lose control while he's stabbing Stu.
Yeah.
Too intense.
Oh.
Moments where the blood is dripping off Stu's hand onto the floor. Blood in motion. So they had to cut that stuff.
Oh, wow.
How strange is that?
That is weird.
Probably the only noticeable thing from the director's cut is that when they kill Drew Barrymore's boyfriend in the director's cut, his intestines kind of roll out onto his legs.
Yes, I've
and
seen
in the
that,
theatrical cut, that does not happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the movies are almost identical.
Yeah.
He's scary.
He's very scary.
He's very believable as an unhinged,
Oh, totally.
warped psychopath.
Yeah, completely. And once you see their nutty dynamic, Matthew Lillard is very believable as like a follower.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Tacked onto this.
Like he looks uncertain most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Or just like more manic.
Yeah, but a lot of the time his forehead's like wrinkled because he's like worried.
His face is always doing stuff.
I guess that's true.
Mouth
yeah.
is going nuts. His forehead's doing all kinds of things. Billy just seems full of rage.
Yeah, he's crazy. And that's the only thing that upsets Stu. I think I'm dying.
Yeah. It's true.
The way that they just start to bicker with each other
Yeah.
is so unpleasant.
Yeah.
They're not a team anymore.
Nope.
Even that, like him saying my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's written to almost seem ironic and funny,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
but it really comes off as, to me, like he's like mentally deficient.
Yes. It's like sad and he's like realizing what he's done, kind of.
Yeah.
Or like the repercussions of what he's done.
Or like that's the worst thing about it.
In a selfish sense.
In a
yeah.
weird way. Like that's the worst thing about this is that my mom and dad are going to be mad at me.
Yeah.
Not like I've killed a bunch of people.
No.
It's not like he's being like, oh my God, what have I done?
No.
It's so odd.
Yeah.
She really stabbed him with that umbrella.
Yeah.
And his reaction is real.
Yeah. Ugh, awful. God.
If you're an actor and that shot gets left in the movie, are you like, well, good, make the most of it, because like make the
Probably.
pain look real? Or you're kind of like, oh, it's a lot, I got stabbed. Like you're you're gonna put that in the movie?
Probably make the most of it.
Yeah.
He's actually really scary when he gets real and brutal.
This feels like the fact that he got like a second wind here.
Yeah.
Like a moment ago, he was like nearly passing out of the table.
Yeah.
His second wind feels like he's like, there is no humanity in him now. He's only rage.
I feel like it's creepy that he sums up all of his energy and like the result of that is being actually like ruthless.
Yeah.
He sums it all back up to be like, I'm going to kill this bitch.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
So one of the original plans for Scream 3 was to find out that he's still alive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
How terrible would that be?
Well, it couldn't be more terrible than what actually happens. I would be very happy to see him there, frankly, actually.
Yeah?
Yes.
It would bum me out to be like, oh, I survived having that TV shoved on my face and
guess.
clearly dying.
Yeah, the movie sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Gross.
That is really gross.
Ugh.
His face.
I know.
Here, like
All
this.
the blood in his mouth is blah.
Yeah. It feels disgustingly real.
Mm-hmm.
like in future movies, when people die,
Yeah.
people spout like clever one-liners,
Mm-hmm.
like it's an action movie. Sometimes there are joke lines that are the final lines of victims. This, it's like, look at her. Mm-hmm. She like kind of can't believe what she just did.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she does get a one-liner,
little,
but
yeah.
it feels kind of, it doesn't feel as like, wah-wah.
So I'm saying the stuff in this feels like kind of real.
Yeah.
That's why the sex scenes not weird me out, but like I just feel like they wouldn't be in because they're too real.
Yeah. There's a book called Scream Deconstructed, where the author, he's just like, I think it's only an Amazon ebook. He's just a huge Scream fan, and he posits a theory that Billy and Stu, they say like, we're trying to make our movie. We're making a movie of our own. And that by the time you get to Scream Thor, even the cameras are higher def, they're glossy, there's lens flare. It feels less realistic. He's like, they succeeded. They have literally broken down the reality of this world and turned it into a world where physically impossible things happen all the time. You can stab someone through the skull and then they get up and walk around a little bit. That Billy and Stu really, literally in this world, destabilized it and turned it into a movie universe by doing this.
Huh. Interesting.
Not necessarily something I believe, but just interesting to think of.
Yeah.
And especially 1 year later, they released Scream 2, where you now find out that this movie about kids who were obsessed with horror movies becomes a movie within the movie.
You know, I don't even like you. I dislike you already.
There we go.
Ooh, Scream.
And that is Scream.
Scream. That's not what happens in that song, but...
Yeah. And
All
then
right,
they do play it off like it's like a good time. Good time, Charlie. Let's just finish up the credits. It's only like a few
The
minutes.
credits?
Yeah. That's what all commentary tracks do anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the time, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Any final thoughts about Scream? You want to just say like
I love Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have anything to say.
No?
No, not really.
I always
I feel like
wondered.
we just said a lot. I'm spent.
This movie in particular for me, I always felt like is like such a good jumping off point for like a million other stories.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, I always felt like the sequels, Scream 2, obviously it's the first sequel. It's a sequel directly to this story. But like Scream 4 feels like it's a sequel to this.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily feel like you need Scream 2 or 3 for Scream 4 to exist.
No, not at all.
Like I feel like this is such an interesting place that in my head, ever since I first watched it, I've always thought about like, and this is kind of goofy, but like the what ifs, like what if the story were slightly different from here?
Yeah.
Like I said before, I think it's weird that the fact that Gail was recording that night, that final night, she had a camera in that house, that footage never comes back.
Yeah.
Even when there
really
are future
weird.
killers who are obsessed with what Billy and Stu accomplished.
Right.
I feel like that is an excellent springboard for some sort of story.
Yeah, for somebody to have gotten a hold of that footage and it being like a cult thing that gets passed around or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I even wrote a little thing that was inspired by Scream, which was essentially about not just a slasher universe.
Not a great freeze frame of Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah. They picked the most annoying face he makes. But like, not just a sort of slasher story that's kind of fun and quippy and knows horror tropes.
Yeah.
But also, like, I feel like this story has always been about horror and about sort of the way the media presents it. Gail Weathers, being a reporter trying to dissect what the story was, is hugely important.
Yeah.
And I don't think it gets enough sort of a spotlight. So I wrote a story that was basically about these killings happened.
Yeah.
People became completely obsessed with it. And the tapes of the murders are out there.
Yeah.
The tapes almost became like a viral video or a form of murderabilia.
Yeah.
Which is a real thing that people,
Oh, totally.
buy artworks that, who's Pogo the Clown?
What's his name? John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy made and stuff. Like, I feel like that's where this story would really actually be in 2017. That it would be about like, wow, that really happened, and we can both watch movies based on it and watch the actual real life footage of it.
Yeah,
Like,
completely.
that's so gross.
Yeah.
But especially now with everybody being so obsessed with true crime and like Serial being as big as it was.
Yeah.
I feel like Scream deserves a modern story
Yeah.
that, I don't know, a modern take on what this was like.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's going to get one.
I don't think so.
No. When does that come out?
What, the new
Scream-
series?
Yeah.
Season 3 starts in March 2018.
Well, is it
I wanna
even
say.
season 3? Isn't it just a total reboot?
Everything I've heard, they're calling it season 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe that's just the shorthand for it.
Yeah.
MTV's Scream, they're abandoning the plot of seasons 1 and 2, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
Is Queen Latifah in it? Am I remembering that right?
I think she's producing it. I don't know if
Okay,
she's actually
okay.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's room for the TV series to exist, and if
Sure.
they ever wanted to make new movies, especially now with like the Weinstein Company is going to get bought.
Yeah.
Dimension Pictures, owned by the Weinstein Company, is probably going to get bought. Somebody's going to own the rights to this. I wonder.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I wonder if that would change anything.
Yeah. Although Wes Craven's dead. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It felt like this was distinctly.
Yeah.
If not everyone's there for it, it probably won't feel quite right.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any more movies or anything. I think there'll only be things like the TV show where it's just like a totally different deal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. I
know.
I feel like people gave this a bad rap. Like its reputation became that it was really corny and...
Well, it became really corny and not great.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
The third one sucks so bad.
I still enjoy it, though.
I do too, but it sucks.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable sucking, but it is not good.
How do you feel about the fourth one?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's this is like a total headcanon. You have to sort of convince yourself of this.
Yeah.
That Sydney and Billy like have sex together in this movie.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth movie, there's Emma Roberts, who's supposed to feel like the rebooted Sydney, the new Sydney.
Right.
If you ignore the events of Scream 2 and Scream 3 and watch Scream 4 as if she is the love child of Sydney and Billy that she gave
Yeah.
up.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
she's got Billy Loomis's DNA in her,
Yeah.
that's why she is a
Totally.
little tyrant.
Yeah, if there was like a weird situation like with Jack Nicholson where his mom was actually like they told him that that was his sister, like
In real life,
that like Sydney had a kid and then gave it to someone to raise or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense.
Doesn't that feel kind of
Yeah.
like it would be a natural
Yes.
way to evolve the story?
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
I don't know. In a weird way, I think that Scream 4, even though I don't agree with everything it did, I think it's a decent end to the series.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously,
3 didn't feel like a decent end to the series.
no,
at all.
it needed a better ending.
Yeah.
And I think it got one.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, yeah. Why don't we get out of here?
Okay.
Thank you all so much for listening or watching, whichever one you did.
Yep.
We really appreciate it. We hope you had a good time. If you did, let us know what you thought about this. This is a little experiment.
Yeah.
Doing a commentary track.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see more like this, let us know that you want more.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I love Scream. I had a great time doing this. I love
too.
watching this movie.
Me too.
It was hard to not just fall into the trap of just wanting to watch it.
I know, completely.
You know, I didn't have time. I almost wanted to watch it before we did this. Not that I need to, but so I'd get it out of my system so I wouldn't just want to sit here and
I know.
get absorbed in it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, everybody out there, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. At GTTU Pod is the name.
Yep.
Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/GTTU Pod. We have a new episode about unsolved mysteries and monsters every Friday.
Yep.
And we'll see you there.
Yeah.
But until then, happy
Stay scary.
watching.
That's right.
And yeah, stay scary.
Bye-bye.